It feels like I have free will. Well, this looks like a cry for help. Is this a cry for help? Hi friends! Welcome to my first video. My name is Kiana and recently, well, two things. One, I'm trying to create more slash have more fun because I realized there's no time like the present to do that. And two, my boyfriend Jimu and I have been playing Slay the Spire 2 kind of a lot recently. In our games, I love visiting the merchant. Like, okay, unbothered, unproblematic, mysterious, moisturized girl boss? Like, I aspire to be them. And I've always loved design and props and costumes, but have never really tried making anything myself. So like any normal girlfriend, I thought, what if I turned myself into the merchant and surprised Jimu?
Here's the thing though, I'm really bad at surprises and
This man is literally my best friend. Like we do everything together, we live together, so it's actually going to be really difficult to keep it a surprise. But that's why I thought it would be really fun because it will genuinely surprise him if I manage not to spoil it.
I wanted to tell him so bad last night.
I originally recorded these clips just to show Jimu how I made the costume, so I didn't record everything, but since I'm again trying to create more, I thought why not make a video with the clips that I do have. I'm not sure if it'll be able to help anyone else make their own merchant cosplay, but hopefully it can inspire some joy and creativity. There will be timestamps, so you only have to watch what you need, and all reference links will be put in the description below. Thanks for stopping by. Here's how I made my costume.
I started with a template to make a basic mask out of cardstock and then followed this paper mache mask tutorial, including the recipe which worked for me and stored well in the fridge for a couple of days. If anyone wants a detailed video about how I did the paper mache layers, I am not your guy. I used too thick of paper and too thick of paste, so when it dried, it came out pretty wrinkled as you can see here. And I did some layers of tissue paper, which obviously didn't really help, especially when this is what we're trying to achieve, very smooth or as smooth as possible. But then I found Ultimate Paper Mache, who showed me if you add a little bit of spice, it can turn out so smooth. Like, this almost looks like ceramic. It's so smooth. So at this point, I started telling myself, trust the process. I used modeling paste. It goes on kind of like oil paint, but dries solid to fill in some small areas. And as you can see, it's starting to look a lot better. But for the larger areas, I got lightweight spackling. It looks like whipped cream, and it did a really good job of filling in these bigger areas. An important note here though is to let the layers dry fully and also do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay, bye. To prep for painting, I did a few layers of some white gesso, which ended up smoothing it out a little bit more. I could have sanded it, but I didn't have the tools to do it safely. Looking back, I don't know what I was thinking that I could draw the design directly onto the mask with a pencil confidently. You can see the literal moment that I'm like, no, this is not what I'm doing. Instead, I took some paper towel and cut it to each shape, laid it down on the mask, and traced it. Paper towel worked well for me because it's flexible, so it could, bend with the curves of the mask while I'm tracing. And now my favorite part, which is painting. Let's just enjoy this little bit right here. The last thing I did was make an insert for the mask using some foam, some elastic, some fabric, and a lot of hot glue to adhere it to the inside of the mask. If you're wondering how I can see out of it, I can't. Overall, I'm really proud of how it turned out. If I could do it again, I would sand it and I would paint the lines a little bit softer. But now, let's get started on the robe. This blanket hoodie tutorial literally saved this entire project because I don't know if I mentioned I can't sew. This video really helped me get started. I felt confident, so I thrifted some fabric and used this blanket to make my first draft of the robe. Yeah, so she was way too short, but luckily I was able to put her on top of this other fabric that I thrifted and make a new and improved pattern for the final robe. And it actually worked. I was really proud of myself here. It's the first full garment I've ever sewn. Now I was ready to start on the final thing. I thrifted some fabric. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any blue fabric, so I went with this cream colored fabric because I liked the texture on it. I was so locked in while making this that I only got this clip right here and then a clip of when my bobbin ran out. No, I don't have a cover, but we got it done. I was really happy with how it turned out, so I went over the stitches with some zigzag stitches to reinforce it before dyeing it. And here's how it turned out. I was really happy with the color. I used Rit dye, royal blue, and navy blue. I was inspired by this video to add a little bit more detail by painting it. So I made my own fabric paint with fabric softener and acrylic paint equal parts. Here I am the night before the surprise, like doing what I could. I wish I could have painted it a bit more, but overall I'm really happy with how it came out. If I could do it again, I would dye it, I think a little bit darker and add some purple highlights with the fabric paint. Yeah, I was feeling good. But it wouldn't last forever. I was too confident in my sewing skills at this point. I needed to be humbled. And I was. Sewing gloves and socks? Kinda difficult. Oh well, at least I can still slay. As in Slay the Spire on Ascension 10 in multiplayer. Psych! But I did make cookies to celebrate, and the recipe is on my Reddit if anyone wants to see it. Okay, bye. In all seriousness, this glove tutorial was made so well. It's so clear. At least the thrifted shirt I used had a leftover piece that was shaped like a bib, which worked perfect to go under the mask for the neck area. I was ready to move on to the rug. Using foam and cardboard, I made a little stamp of the shapes on the merchant's rug. And then again, I used fabric softener and acrylic paint to make some fabric paint and started stamping onto this duvet cover we already owned. Can you see those? Yeah, neither could I. It didn't actually work, and I ended up hand painting like every single one, but it did act as a sort of guide for me while painting, so that was nice. And I'm happy with how it turned out in the end. All that was left to do is test to see how it all looked. I think I need props. I used some candles that we already had and some pieces of paper that I cut out to shape. I used parchment paper though. And I put some stuffing into a little bag and drew the design on to make a money bag, which also worked as a dog toy in the end. Here's our living room before, and here it is after I set up the props and the rug. It's almost time for the surprise.
There's 30 minutes until I have to go pick them up. I'm so nervous. I have literally never done anything like this in my entire life. Okay, so my plan, put a box of pastries in the back of our car, and as we're like walking up the stairs, be like, I forgot something in the back of the car. Do you mind going and getting it? I need to go in. I have to pee or something, right? The time it takes him to walk to the car and back is the time I have to like put on the costume, sit down, oh, turn on all the cameras. Um, yeah, he's probably gonna be so surprised. I think he's gonna be like, oh my god, oh my god.
take a picture?
Surprise! I got it on video.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Look how this one is.
Thank you so much for watching. I learned that I just love creating, so see you next time. Bye!